In 2018, we were approached to develop a solution for a remote hydraulic connector for wireline lubricators. This would allow high-pressure pumping to continue while the wireline tool was being changed out. We developed the Loc-Torus system. The system is designed to be simple to operate, simple to rig up. The first thing you would do, the control skid should typically be placed fairly near the crane. The crane operator is going to have quite a bit of interaction with the control skid and the operator that is operating the control skid, so it should be placed outside of the high pressure zone at or near the crane. We recommend that within crane's reach, the transport skid with the spare connector in it also be placed within reach of the crane. So the control skid is powered by standard 110 single phase voltage like you'd have in your house. We recommend a dedicated generator for the control skid. 20 kilowatt or larger light plants will work. We don't recommend turning on the lights. Sometimes the light plants don't offer as much amperage as advertised. Once power is plugged in, using our power plug, do not use an extension cord. Again, that can draw down the power available to the control skid. Plug it into your generator, and then a grounding wire is provided with our control skid, which you would ground that to a rod or some other grounded equipment. We provide a lifting device for the wellhead adapters. The rig up team would pick up the wellhead adapters with our lifting device, take it to the wellhead, and bolt the flanges to the wellhead. Next thing you do is select the connector with the crossover already mounted on top, and you would mate up to that crossover. And then you lift the connector out of the transport skid and you're ready to go. The connectors are each provided with a 200-foot umbilical. Best recommended practice for the umbilical is to wrap the umbilical around the lubricator or BOP and tape it to the hydraulic lines that are already there. Once you're ready to go into operation, crane operator would position the connector with the wireline lubricator tool string above the wellhead, simply lower it down onto the wellhead. It's a fairly large diameter heavy duty steel funnel that helps the crane operator line up with the wellhead and won't break from hard contacts with the wellhead. The connector is self-aligning, so if you can just get the wellhead within that funnel diameter, then it will align itself as you lower it down on the wellhead. Once you're on the wellhead, the crane operator would take about 2,000 pounds of weight off of the tool string down onto the wellhead, and you're ready to latch onto the well. There are 3 ways to tell whether the connector is in an unlocked state or a locked state. There are visual indicators on the connector, orange pucks, 2 of them. You can see those from the crane, you can see them from the control skid. If they're up, the connector's locked. If they're down, the connector's unlocked. There's also a flashing light on the top of the control skid. When it's flashing, that means we're in an unlocked position. And that's the proc sensors that are on the connector are looking at a rod that's saying that we're either unlocked or we're locked. Our touchscreen interface, we made it simple, so it's only have to turn a key to lock and unlock the connector. There is a lock emblem that will indicate whether you're locked by the padlock being in the lock position or unlocked if the connector's in the unlocked position. Control system touchscreen has a wellbore pressure display. If it's under 75 psi, the gauge is green, and the little lock emblem below it, it will say unlock permitted. If it's over 75 psi or we're disconnected, below that it'll say unlock not permitted. When wireline operation is finished and you're ready to come off the well, you want to make sure that the crane is less than 2 degrees out of alignment with the well. It doesn't come off the well, it's greater than a 90% chance that crane is out of that alignment. If there is an issue with the connector coming off the well, you've hit the unlock button, you've turned the key to the unlock position, and the crane pulls straight up, doesn't come off the well, it's out of that 2 degree tolerance. So you would walk around the well outside of the high pressure zone, taking a look at the angle, making sure your lubricator is straight up and down. You can generally detect this visually, and then the crane operator could make some adjustments. Usually the connector would come unlatched. If you had a leak, switching out a connector, change out the quick exhaust, which is very simple, easy to understand. It's right behind the guard of the connector. Change out that O-ring seal for the stinger, which again, that's very easy to do, should be changed out about every well swap. If you had a control channel that wasn't operating properly or having issues with that, then you would just plug in to the next control position. So if you're operating on blue, you have some issues, change the quick disconnects over to the white position and you're back to operation. So when you have the wellhead adapters on the ground, it's a good idea to wipe them down. And about once a month or between each well swap, good idea to drain the moisture from the air tanks, which drain valves right there next to the plug-in for the air ports. If you ever had a control skid, you lost power, you lost the touch screen, something were to happen to the control skid, while you're waiting on us to deliver you a new control skid, the connector can be locked and unlocked with a portable compressor. All that's required there is you attach the end of our unlocked umbilical air line to pressure of a portable compressor. Once you're unlocked, you relieve that pressure, the connector will go back to the lock position. That's 48 springs, and it ensures that the connector's in a lock position. The connector locks over center. We've made it over 200,000 connections without the connector coming loose from a well with pressure. In 6 to 9 months, one of these connectors will make about 2,500 cycles. So also on the control screen, we provide ReelPower Marine and Energy. People that are familiar with the Loc-Torus system, their cell phone numbers on a sticker on the control screen, and one of us will pick up 24 hours a day